I got some new art supplies, so let's unbox them. I finally decided it's time to start painting on canvas. Until now, I've been painting on paper because I was afraid to paint on canvas. But you know what? If I mess up, I can just sand it down and paint over it. Paper is much cheaper, so I was like, oh no, I can't ruin it. Don't care anymore. I can ruin it. I got 3 canvases from 3 different brands that were pretty affordable, and I want to see which one works best for me. This one is from Polish brand, and just looking at this, I think it's the best, but we will see. I also got some fixative because I recently started using colored pencils, and I think I can use it also for my pastels. So I started experimenting with colored pencils, and I prefer it over just regular pencil. I also got some varnish for my acrylic paintings, and this one is very popular, so I thought I would give it a try. Basically, I want to paint more. This is one of my craziest plants that I own. This is air plant. I will leave the full name for you. If this is something that is interesting for you, you can hang this somewhere or you just lay it down somewhere where you like. Of course, where it will have some light. And I am watering my plants, so I thought I will show you how I water this crazy plant. So I have a bowl with water here, and I just leave it in the water for like 30 minutes, 15 minutes sometimes when I don't have that much time. And yeah, it drinks the water, and then I just hang it here. I painted this on one of my small canvases. I didn't film the process because I was a little bit stressed because it is a canvas and I didn't want to think a lot about recording, you know, placing my camera in the right angle to show the painting, and I was like, you know what, I would just paint it without recording it. So this is how it looks. This is a rat that is playing with balls. And I started painting another painting with rats. I don't know how you feel about it because I know some of you don't like rats. I don't know why, they are super cute, but I know a lot of people don't like them. So I don't know how you will feel about my art with rats, but you know, I want to find something that will feel nice to paint, so I will paint more. And I really love to paint plants, especially my plants, and I would like to paint all of my plants, for example like this one. And I started painting this. I know it doesn't look like rats, but I will show you the reference photo and then maybe you will see what I'm trying to paint, because this is like the first layer and I'm using acrylic paint. So I basically thought that finding something that will feel nice to paint will make me paint more, because I saw that a lot of beginners start with painting a still life, these very boring things. Horrible. I tried it and I didn't enjoy it. I mean, it's good to understand proportions, dark and light, but if you really want to start paint more, I don't think it's a good idea to paint only still life. It's so boring. I'm going to show you one of my paintings with one of my plants. I painted it with oil paint, so it's a little bit different. The texture is different. I love it. I also like painting with oil paint, but I don't like the drying process. It takes so much time, and I think this is still not dry. I don't know. If you feel like painting isn't enjoyable for you, just paint something that you really like. I love plants, I love rats, and I'm going to paint them. I heard this quote that made me think about making art. It goes like this: having a day job doesn't make you less of an artist, it makes you a free artist. You don't have to compromise your art to survive, you don't have to water it down to pay rent. Your art stays pure, and that's not a compromise, that's a superpower. I remember when I started making money from my artwork, from my dolls and crafts, I hoped that one day I would quit my job and be able to pay my rent just from my Etsy shop. But that never happened, and because of that, I felt like a failure. It seems like everyone on the internet who starts eventually turns their artwork into a full-time job. I realized that there are two types of people who make art on the internet. There are people who tell you to take your art seriously and try to make a living from it. And there are people who tell you that making money from your artwork will make it less fun, that it will drain your creativity. But I realized that I can combine those two approaches because I believe that making money from art creates a lot of new opportunities, such as buying better art supplies and making more room for new work instead of letting it pile up in my house. At the same time, it doesn't have to become my full-time job. Now I like the stability that my job gives me, and I have stopped feeling ashamed that I wasn't able to turn my art into an income that could pay my rent. You can sell your art without starting a business. You don't have to turn your hobby, your craft, and your art into a business, but it's perfectly okay to sell your work. I wanted to understand why so many people say that you have to turn your hobby into a business, and I think I know what the problem is. We live in a time when we see the perfect lives of other people online, while at the same time many of us struggle to afford a comfortable life. Rent is expensive, food is expensive, life is just expensive. Because of that, a lot of us start feeling guilty or even ashamed for spending our free time on hobbies that aren't also side businesses. But turning a hobby into a business is incredibly difficult. It's not for everyone, and not everyone has the support of another person who can help with all the things that came with running a business, especially the parts that aren't creative. I'm not saying that it's not worth trying to build a business around something you love. Don't get me wrong, I'm just saying that there are other ways to approach it. I'm not against turning a hobby into a business, and I don't think people should never sell their work. I actually think it's perfectly okay to make money from something you love, but I also think it's okay to slow down, create the things we love at our own pace, and sell them without the pressure that they have to pay all of our bills. Because there is a difference between making money from your creativity and depending on it to survive. You need to see what I have here. Look at this gigantic plant. It is not my plant, but my friend asked me to rescue this plant. Look at the leaves. Something is not good with the plant. I still don't know what is going on because I want to see inside. I love rescuing plants. It's so satisfying when you see that everything what you are doing is working. On her leaves, I don't see... Okay, I see something actually. Yeah. I think she has parasites. That's not good. Oh my god, I didn't see that before. I don't like it. got something for my rats. A company from Germany asked me if I want to get a package from them with snacks for my rats. So I'm going to open this. If you like my rats, you can check out my private Instagram account, because I have one account on Instagram for dolls and one account that is my private account with just my normal, regular life. You might ask me, okay, if I don't turn my hobby into my full-time job, then how can I make art after work when I'm too tired? I'm too tired to even start making what I love. I think in this economy, when almost all of my friends my age have university degree but don't work in their field, it's very important to find a job that won't drain your creativity. My job, for example, is physical, so I get tired physically, but my mind isn't tired, and I think that helps me. Something else that helps me is that I don't wait for inspiration. Inspiration finds you working. I think you know this quote. You need to start even when you don't feel like it. I mean, when you feel like you've been procrastinating for too long. Procrastination will come back all the time, and you need to recognize that you are procrastinating, because then it will be easier for you to stop it. It's hard when you don't realize you've been procrastinating, when you think that you are just tired or depressed. When I procrastinate and I want to stop, I try to come back to things that inspire me. My favorite artists, content creators, books, podcasts. I also come back to my own work. I look at it and I think about how I felt when I was making it. Unfortunately, I didn't finish my painting with rats. I need to focus on my Etsy situation. I posted about this situation here on YouTube in the posts and also on my Instagram account with dolls. I got so much support from you, and I wanted to thank you so much for that. I will talk specifically about Etsy's situation in another video. I'm a little bit lost in this situation. Last year, I wasn't able to ship my dolls to the US because of the tariff situation, and now Etsy is making it harder to have a shop on their platform. I actually wanted to close my Etsy shop because I saw how poorly Etsy shows my listings to people, but I wanted to do it when I would be ready with a new online shop, and now I have to do it when I'm not ready. I didn't expect to have to set up a shop right now. Anyways, thank you so much for watching this video, and special thanks to members of my YouTube channel. Thank you so much, and see you in the next video. Bye bye.